the story of Palestine and Israel. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there were two groups of people who lived in a place called Palestine. They were the Palestinians and the Israelis. This is a story about how they started a long, sad and complicated conflict. Many, many years ago, the land of Palestine was a peaceful place. People from different backgrounds lived there, and they got along well. But things changed over time. During World War I, the British Empire took control of Palestine. This caused some problems because the Palestinians and the Jewish people both wanted to live there. The British tried to keep the peace, but it wasn't easy. The Balfour Declaration. In 1917, the British government issued something called the Balfour Declaration. It said they supported the idea of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. This made many Palestinians worried because they thought it meant they might lose their homes. The United Nations. After World War II, the United Nations was created to help keep the peace around the world. They came up with a plan for Palestine. The plan said that the land would be divided into two parts, one for the Jewish people and one for the Palestinians. The creation of Israel. On May 14, 1948, the State of Israel was declared. This made Jewish people very happy because they finally had their own country. But the Palestinians were not happy. They didn't agree with the plan, and they felt like they were losing their land. The Arab-Israeli War. Right after Israel was created, some of its neighboring Arab countries attacked it. This started the Arab-Israeli War. Israel won the war, and they gained more land. This made the conflict even worse, and many Palestinians had to leave their homes. The West Bank and Gaza Strip. After the war, Israel took control of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Many Palestinians still lived there, and they didn't like being under Israeli control. This led to more tension and conflict. The Six-Day War. In 1967, another war broke out between Israel and its Arab neighbors. This time, Israel won more land, including East Jerusalem, the West Bank, and the Gaza Strip. The conflict continued to grow. The PLO and peace efforts. A group called the Palestine Liberation Organization PLO was formed to represent the Palestinians. They wanted to get their land back and create their own country. Many peace efforts were made over the years, but none of them were successful. Intifadas. In the late 1980s and early 2000s, the Palestinians started something called intifadas, which means uprisings. They protested and fought for their rights. Many people were hurt, and the conflict got worse. The Oslo Accords. In 1993, Israel and the PLO signed a peace agreement called the Oslo Accords. It was a big step toward peace, but there were still many problems, and the conflict continued. A hope for peace. Over the years, there have been many efforts to bring peace to the region. People from both sides want to live in peace and security. But the conflict is very complicated, and it's hard to find a solution that makes everyone happy. It's important for people all over the world to understand the conflict between Israel and Palestine. Many people have suffered, and peace is needed for both sides to live happily and safely. It's important to remember that not all Israelis or Palestinians are responsible for the conflict. Most people just want to live their lives in peace.